Hi everyone, I'm Ben from Ellii. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can manually create accounts for your students, Ellii accounts, using something that we call key codes. Now, key codes are a simpler way for language students to log in so that they don't have to remember a username and password. And it's an alternative way for you to onboard your students. So let me show you how this works. All right, so I'm on my classroom area where I can see all of my different classes. And I'll go ahead and click one of my classes, Conversation Class, High Intermediate. And I'll click over to my students right here. This is a list of all of my students in this class. Let's say I have a new student who's just joined in the middle of the term. You can see right now that most of my students here all have a username instead of a key code, which is new. And also some students have an email address like this one down here. But the new way to do this, to invite students, is something we call key code. So I'm going to go ahead and look at my options over here to add students. I can invite via class code. If the student is new, they'll need an email address, or invite via email invitation, so they'll have to have an email to receive, or an email address to receive your invitation. But if I click manually create accounts right here, I land on this place where I've got a form to build these accounts for my students individually. If I would prefer to still use usernames and passwords to create for my students, I just simply click there. But this form by default is our key code generator. So the first option is if you've got a CSV file with a list of all your new students, first name, last name, and student ID, optional student ID, you can just drag that form right onto this box right here, and our system will automatically create accounts for all of those students of yours, and it will generate a key code for each one of them, which is all they'll need to log in. But let me show you what that looks like for an individual student. So I'm going to put in Kenji, one of my students. Last name is Morita. And I will leave the student ID blank because we're not using student IDs at my school. And I'll go ahead and click Create an Account. It says Account Created, and even just shows me down below a recap of what that account is, Kenji Morita, and you'll see that there's a key code here, KM0302. It's very simple, and typically the first two letters, it's always two letters followed by four numbers. The first two letters are typically going to be the student's initials, K for Kenji, M for Morita. All right, from time to time, it might display it a little bit differently and do it the first two letters of their first name or the first two letters of their last name if all of those combinations are taken. But it will usually end up being just their initials followed by a simple four-digit number. That's it. If I go back to my list of students in the class now, you'll see that Kenji shows up here, and I can see that his key code is KM0302. Embedded with all the other students that I have in my class. All right, so what does it look like for my student to log in? Let's go take a look right now. All right, so I've landed on what it looks like for students to log in on the student login page at ellii.com/students. By default, it's defaulting to the email or username. So for students who already have accounts set up with email addresses or that you may have created for them with a username and password, they would use this form. But for your new students who want to use the key code system, they just simply click this key code tab here, and I will put in my student's initials, KM, and the four-digit code, 0302. And the only thing to authenticate will be the last name. So he will put in Morita, and that's it. He's in. It's that simple. So really just a four-digit number that student needs to remember to get in, along with typically his initials. All right, so let's go back to the teacher view and show one more great feature that you can use with this as well that is new right now. So I'm back on my teacher view page right here. And you can see this download list, which is new, which wasn't there before. So anytime I'm on my students within a class, I've got a download list. And if I click this button, it's going to download a list of all my students into a PDF. And it's going to put them in a type of card that you can cut up and distribute to your students. So I'll go ahead and show you what that looks like. Just pop that up right here. Here's all the students in my class. You see some of them have a key code, and some of them have usernames, and some of them have email addresses. This is the one I downloaded from a different class, but you get the point here. All right, so you can cut those up and you can give them to your students. We don't put the passwords on here for obvious reasons, but you could write the password down on these cards as well if you want, right next to the usernames. And remember that the key codes do not require that at all. All right, so Jumping back to the teacher page, that is how simple it is to create accounts for your students now using what we call key codes. Let us know if you have any questions on how you're enjoying this new system. Thank you very much.